All right, so if you watch that video, your palms are probably a little bit sweaty. Every time I watch that, I kind of get butterflies in my stomach. If you like Alex Honnold, you may have seen now Free Solo. It's a pretty crazy movie. Let me be super clear though that I don't endorse free soloing. I love to climb. I do a lot of climbing. I climb in the rec center, but I've climbed outdoors for 20 years. I do multi-pitch trad. I've done a lot of sport climbing, but no free soloing because I would like to stay alive. And if you think about the great free soloists, most of them are dead. And so hopefully Alex Honnold does not go that direction, but please wear ropes when you're climbing. It's a fabulous sport, but wear ropes. But the reason I showed you that video is really, it's a 5-minute North Face commercial, right? And you'll notice they didn't spend any time in that video saying, our product is light and durable and, good for the element, keeping you dry in the elements. Like they really let the story sort of speak for itself. And I think if I think about, okay, what's their unique value proposition for me? So I'd fall probably into their customer segment. Many of you would as well. Their value proposition is really probably around our clothing or our apparel or our jackets or whatever will allow you to communicate to the world that you are ready for adventure. Right? I mean, that's sort of what they're doing. And sure, there's some product attributes, about the nature of the material and stuff. That has some consequences that allows you to be comfortable, let's say, in the great outdoors. But it's about a lot more than that. It's really about communicating to the world that, hey, I'm sort of like Alex Honnold. Like I'm sort of a big deal. No, I'm not at all. But it is kind of sending that message, right? Like I'm also adventurous. I'm bold. I like the outdoors. And that's what North Face really tries to communicate in their branding. So now, what do you need to do? You need to figure out what to say. You need to talk to your team, and you need to think about how can you map out those linkages between the product attributes or your solution itself, right, to the consequences, and ultimately to the value proposition, right? So your messaging will primarily be around the value proposition. Now, of course, you may have a if you're building a website or something, of course, you're probably going to have something like, how does it work? And you will go into depth into what the solution is, how it works. But when you're trying to catch people's attention, people don't care about their solution. They care about their problem and how you're going to create value for them. So I would encourage you to focus on that value proposition as you're thinking about what you want to say in your channels. So the next series of videos will be around how to say it. So we've talked about what to say, which is essentially the unique value proposition is what you need to communicate. We're going to talk about how to say it. We'll talk about some options for channels. And then we're going to start to get into thinking about making choices between channels and figuring out what does it cost us to communicate? How much does it cost us to acquire a single customer? And so we'll talk about the nuts and bolts. We'll hear that phrase a lot, the cost of acquiring customers, in the next series of videos. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're communicating with the group. As always, let me know if you have questions. We're adapting to this new reality, and we'll just continue to do the best we can. Take care, and I will see you in the next series of videos. Bye.